Today, we have a brand new update from NotebookLM. So you can see that they've said introducing cinematic overviews, the next evolution of NotebookLM Studio. Basically, what this allows you to do is create way more cinematic videos, as you can see right here. Now, previously, they were kind of like animated videos that looked pretty cool, but now you can actually generate something way better using these cinematic videos. Unlike standard templates, these are powered by a novel combination of the most advanced models to create bespoke immersive videos from your sources. So if you're not familiar with NotebookLM, let me talk you through it and how it works, and then we'll quickly get into creating cinematic videos. So NotebookLM is like a free research tool from Notebook, and this is powered by Google. And basically, once you click on try NotebookLM, you can go over here and start creating almost anything you want. It's like a sort of powerful media content creator. So, for example, you can plug in all your research on the left hand side. You can then use a chat which is custom trained on the research you've pulled in. So if you want to create something where the AI is trained specifically on the topic that you're focusing on, like for example, in this example, we've focused on OpenClaw in the research, then we can ask questions about it inside the chat. Now, the new feature that's just rolling out, and it is a beta feature, I think it's not rolled out to everyone just yet, is you can use this video overview, right? So if you click on video overviews like this, you can switch between explainer, brief, and cinematic. So this is the new update. And then you can also put in custom instructions here on what you want to focus on. So you can say, okay, focus on the story of OpenClaw and how it got created and that sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. The only thing that I've seen, once you've done this, so you can like select cinematic, for example, here, and then you can say, okay, focus on the story of OpenClaw, or for example, focus on statistics around OpenClaw, or turn the OpenClaw research into a cinematic style movie animation, right? Something like that. Or you can just leave it blank and hit generate, right? Now, the only issue that I've seen is that it does take quite a long time to generate. So I actually generated this like 20 minutes ago, and you can see it's still stuck in generating. So I would expect that to take quite a lot longer. The other thing to note here as well is that it's just rolling out for Ultra users right now, right? So if you're on the Ultra plan of Google, which a lot of people watching are, then it's rolling out. I would expect this to get rolled out to everyone else later. It was kind of like video views before. So before with video overviews on NotebookLM, it literally took about a couple of weeks for it to then start getting rolled out to from Ultra only users to then move into free users and also pro users, right? So just bear in mind that. And then from here, it's quite simple and easy to generate. Now, they've also released another new update, which is custom infographics. So if you click on the edit sign on the custom infographic section here, so you go to infographic, edit, and then you can switch between the styles that you want, right? So you can choose a language, you can choose whether it's portrait, square, or landscape. And then from here, you can select like these different styles right here, or you can just click on auto select. And then you can describe the infographic you want to create. You can switch between standard, detailed, and concise. And that's basically how you go. Now, the detailed version is really the one that's going to give you a lot of data on that infographic to give you better outputs. If you want to see an example of how it looks, here's an example of what the new style of infographics looks like, and then you can just download that. So for example, we created one on 50 essential tips for using OpenClaw, as you can see, and that was using the custom infographic style. So again, this does take a long time to generate, but if you want to see an example of one that's been created, bear in mind this literally just came out a few hours ago, so I've just tested it now, but you can see how it works right here. Someone did try to ask, so Christian tried to ask, like, do you know when it's going to come to pro accounts? Is it going to be a couple of months, couple of weeks? They didn't really respond or give any information, but I would expect it to be a few weeks, and then it'll probably roll out to everyone. And this is what it looks like once you're in there. So the main thing you want to note as well, if you're on the Ultra plan and you're like, where's the custom version of video overviews? So you have to click on video overview first, and then you can select cinematic. And from here, you can type in the type of video you want to focus on. If you have a look, it's very, very different from the older versions. So if you have a look at the way that they were created before, let me find a previous example for you. All right, so here's an example of a video created with the old version, right? And this would come with like a custom audio over the top. So it's
So
got
have
audio
you heard the
narration over the top.
is
And then it kind of creates like
it's like a
this
little
nice
physics
slideshow
playground.
that's
And just in case
animated
you're not familiar, an
with
Easter egg
voiceover
is
over the
just
top,
what
right?
it sounds
Using
like,
AI.
a little
So that's
hidden
automatically
joke or
generated, but that's the old version. And then the new version, if you have a look at it, it looks way more interesting. So you can see how it works right here. This is the old version.
The
And then
landscape
this is
is
the
a
new version
perfect
where it's kind of
graph
got
of a
like these
mathematical
3D
function.
graphics.
If
It's
x is 1,
a lot more
we're dividing
animated.
by
It looks a
0.
lot more
A
interesting the way
hole
that
in
it's
the
animated.
mathematical
And you can
reality
just
of
bring
our
that
world.
research to life,
Can we
right? You
still
can make it
figure
look
out
a
the
lot more
altitude that
interesting.
should be there just by exploring the
And again, you can see these are still waiting. So it must take about an hour to generate these, maybe because it's a new feature being rolled out. But that's basically how you can get access to this. So what you can also do inside NotebookLM as well, just to recap on the features here. So you can also do deep research, which means that you can pull in more depth to your research here. So if we type in OpenClaw and then we select deep research, it'll pull out dozens of sources that we can then plug in. And obviously, the more sources from better sources inside your notebook, the better the actual research and the better the outputs are going to be, right? Especially when you're using the AI here. Now, this is pretty cool because now you can, for example, if you need to explain something to your team, or maybe you're creating content for social media, etc., then you can use NotebookLM to automate this. You can also, for example, create audio overviews, slide decks, other types of video overviews here, mind maps, reports, flashcards, quizzes, infographics, and data tables, all in like one click. And then if you generate them all whilst you're waiting for that cinematic overview, the good thing about that is you don't have to wait for them one by one. You can just generate them in parallel, which saves a lot of time as well. Now, if you want to make longer videos, what you would do, usually these videos are like, I would say 5 to 8 minutes, something like that. But you can choose between like brief videos, explainer videos, cinematic ones. I'm not sure how long they take. They actually are in the output because I'm still waiting for this one to generate over here. So that's basically it for the new Notebook LM update. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, easy to use, and you can just generate them in one click. It's only available for Ultra users, like I said before, but I would expect this to roll out to Pro and free users later, just like the existing video
we're
overviews feature is
dividing by
coming.
0.
And you can
A
see it looks pretty
hole
cool
in the
right here.
mathematical
So if
reality
you
of
want
our
more
world.
training
Can we
on
still
Notebook
figure out
LM, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to the aiprofitboardroom.com. And then if you type in NotebookLM in the search bar here, we have loads of training, including, for example, how to use OpenClaw with NotebookLM and anti-gravity. We've got, for example, trainings on full step-by-step guides, 10 different use cases for NotebookLM, a full step-by-step guide on how to use NotebookLM with anti-gravity, etc. So if you want to get all of our best trainings on that, it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. And this is my AI automation community. So if you want to save time, if you want to learn AI automation, if you want to learn how to apply it to your business, you can check out this community. We have 2,600 members inside here, which means that you can ask questions, get help, get support whenever you want to. There's always people online. We have a daily accountability group, so you can post your goals, stay accountable, and avoid shiny object syndrome. You also get weekly updates here. So what I do each week is I condense 60 hours of my research and then plug it into this update. So I tell you what's good, what to ignore, and what actually is useful. That just helps avoid like information overload and helps you stay focused on the most important updates that week. You also get weekly video coaching calls. You can go inside the map here and meet people in your local area if you just zoom in on your area. And then also you get my best trainings on, for example, like how to go from beginner to expert with AI automation in just a few weeks. How to automate AI avatar videos and shorts and Instagram and X as well. And then also you get daily updates inside the classroom if you go to the SOP update section here, right? So you can see we have new guides every single day on like how to use all of this stuff, including the full 6-hour course on OpenClaw. So feel free to get that. That's the AI Profit Boardroom. OpenAI have just released the Codex app on Windows finally, so you can get the full Codex app experience on Windows now. What this means essentially is you get this coding agent that you can download. It's actually available for free on Windows as well as Mac. So if you haven't come across this before, basically Codex is a really powerful AI coding agent. And it's kind of like an IDE where you can paste in the projects you want to create and then switch between APIs and build whatever you want. So I'll show you exactly how this works. So clean, he says, are you live right now or AI? It is me, not AI. So if you want to get access to Codex on Windows, you can go right here and then download it. It's available on Mac already, but it's been available for quite a while on there. And then from here, you want to go to Codex like you can see. And inside here, basically, just to give you a quick overview, you've got these different projects that you can run on the left-hand side, and then you can set up separate folders for the projects you want to create. Now, you could use this, for example, to create games, tools, apps, websites, landing pages. Let me show you an example of what we've built previously. So if we say, like, open this up on this particular project that we coded out. And for this, we actually said, like, build out a calculator, as you can see, for our AI Profit Boardroom members. If you say open this up, once it's finished coding, you can say, yes, open up. And then it'll actually open up the project you've built directly inside your Chrome browser here. So you can quickly preview stuff and build them out. And if you switch to Codex Spark, this is really, really fast as an API. And again, it is available for free. So you can see this is available to try with the free and go plans. And here's how it works, right? So let's say, for example, I wanted to rebuild my website. Well, I can easily do that with Codex. So I can take all the content from this page here that I want to redesign. I can then go back to Codex here. I can create a new project with a new folder. So if we go back over here and we say, okay, AIPB website, hit create, open that up, that'll start a new section right here. Now you can have multiple agents coding at the same time, which is pretty simple and easy to use, which means you can build multiple projects. And then now we can start a new thread inside that folder, right? Which also means that if we have one folder that we're working on, we can have multiple agents working on the same projects at the same time to improve, for example, like the UI or debug it, etc. So if we go inside the chat here, we can paste in the content from my website and we can say, okay, create a beautiful landing page for this website, make it fun, interesting, use my brand colors, and I'll insert my brand colors right here for my AI Profit Boardroom community. Text to use below, right? So you can just give it the examples of the text you want to use, and then you can switch between APIs here, right? Now, if you want something super powerful, then you go with GPT 5.3 Codex, right? So Codex is like the most powerful version. And if you wanted the highest settings for that, switch to extra high over here. Now, if you want something that's really fast, so for example, I'm showing you a live demo right here, then I can just select medium on the reasoning effort and select Codex Spark, which is the fastest version of their coder. And then if we hit send like so, we can start to code that out, right? And you can see how quick it is when it actually starts using it. Now, it also uses skills. So you see here, it says read front end design skill. What this means is essentially it's calling on the skills we've installed, which I'll come on to in a minute, to build this out. And now it's actually working on creating that. All right. And now it's actually created the page too. So let's just say open this up. And boom, we've got the page ready to go right there. All right. Now, if you wanted to make that look better, so if you look at this, you're like, it's okay, but it's not amazing, right? Then you could give it an example of what you actually want. So you can take screenshots and then plug those into Codex and say, hey, create it more like this, or make it look more beautiful like this, right? So if we zoom out of this page, we'll take the whole design. We'll copy the image. Then we'll go back to Codex here, paste this in the section. So we can click on add photos and files. And then we can go to our desktop, grab that image of the screenshot we just took, or we can grab them both, open those up and say, make it look more beautiful and interesting like this. And then we'll switch to GPT 5.3 Codex to load the images. Bear in mind, you can't use images on Codex Spark, just something to be aware of there. So you want to switch APIs back to GPT 5.3 Codex, and then it will start to restyle the page and redesign it based on the new style that we want, right? And then the cool thing about this is you can quickly get like a basic design with Codex Spark. And once you've done that, then you can improve and add the final touches for better UI using GPT 5.3 Codex, right? Now you can also see here, you can switch between different permissions. So you can go with the default permissions, or you can actually give it full elevated access to your local files. So this is coding out locally, and then it'll begin to code this out, as you can see, right? Now, whilst that's waiting, you could switch to another project. So you could go over here and be like, right, okay, now open this one up, or let's have a look at this, right? So if we say open this up, now we'll open up a previous project that we've created over here. Here's an example as well. We created like an invoice generator. And if you want to see the actual code on the right-hand side, then you can click on View and toggle Diff Panel, and that will allow you to see all the code that you've generated so far. Now, in the top left-hand side, we can switch between skills and automations. So with the skills, what this allows you to do is just add more skills and tools to Codex to make it more powerful, right? So if we have a look, for example, here, we can switch between like Cloudflare, we could add that. We could set up the ChatGPT apps option. We could add separate tools like, for example, Notion and Netlify Deploy. What Netlify Deploy allows you to do is actually deploy web projects. So if you code anything directly inside Codex, you can connect Netlify and then build it out. And that's the newer version of the website, as you can see, which looks better than the original. It's still, honestly, it's still not as good as Claude Code or Claude 4.6 Sonnet or Opus. But for something that's free, for something that you can quickly use to create prototypes, it does work quite nicely, as you can see, right? And it works well, and it's fast. So you can also, for example, like add PDFs. You could create your own like presentations using the Create, Edit, and PDFs tool right here. And then if you wanted to install a skill, you just click on the plus sign here. It's a one-click refresh. So we just refresh the page here, and now we've got the skill loaded for creating and editing PDFs, right? It's as simple as that for setting up these new skills. Now, also inside the automation section here, what we can do is we can schedule tasks each day, right? So let's say, for example, we wanted to schedule a new blog post on our website. Well, we can just go to automations, click on new, type in the name of the project and the task you want to schedule, give it the folder that you want it to run locally, and then say, okay, create a new blog post every day, right? So if we say, okay, create a new blog post on my website daily, and then we say, right, okay, do this every day. So it's on a daily schedule, do it at 9 a.m. each day, give it a name, and then you can just create the scheduled task, and it will run as long as you've got Codex running in the background, right? As you can see here, 9 active runs. So it's pretty cool. There's so much you can do with this. It's quite an underrated tool. You can even, for example, use it to help you set up something like OpenClaw, right? So over here, we actually said install OpenClaw and enable Codex, and then it created a setup for OpenClaw right here. So actually set it up, got it working, and then starts running it inside our browser. So there's really no limit to this. It can help you set up agents. It can create and code websites, landing pages, games, etc. You can have multiple agents working at the same time. You can add the automations for daily scheduled tasks, and you can add new skills that just connect it to whatever you want. So you can automate whatever you want as well. Right? And that's basically how it works. Now, inside the settings as well, if you go over here, you can also add MCP servers. MCP servers just allow you to connect this to other tools externally as well, kind of like Skills, but in a different way. You can connect GitHub as well. And there's a bunch of like basic configurations and that sort of thing. So that's basically how Codex works. Let's see what we've got on the questions here. So Mela says, maybe you guys, let's have a look here. Any significant difference between Codex and other tools? So Hadza says, any significant difference between Codex and other tools that make it stand out? Yeah, so it's the fact that number one, you can use it for free. Number two, it's got Codex Spark, so it can code really quickly. And number three, you can have multiple agents working at the same time. And also you can set up automations. So you can set up daily scheduled tasks, which kind of makes it like a free version of Claude Cowork. It's like an alternative to that. What would you say for an old school SEO getting back in the game? Well, I would say, like, it's we still have an SEO agency, right? And we still get a lot of clients for it. So I would, if you're good at SEO and clients want it, right? They want help with that. So I would sell it as an agency. That's basically what I would do. If you're getting back in the game, if you're trying to get set up and everything else, a lot of clients do want AI related stuff. But I mean, even something as simple as like building out websites with Codex and then creating blog posts on them and helping clients rank with that would be something that a lot of clients would be interested in. Which video do we watch for basically free setup of OpenClaw? I got my Mac Mini 2 days ago and I'm looking for directions to set up. So you don't need a Mac. Oh, if you want to connect NotebookLM to OpenClaw, let me show you how to do that, right? So if you go inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comment description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com, type in NotebookLM and OpenClaw, and you'll see the video right here, right? So it's the 8th of Feb 1, and then you can watch a video tutorial and check out the step-by-step guide on how to connect it with all the links to the MCPs and everything else. So if you want to connect those, you can run that. If you want to run for free with OpenClaw, go to the classroom here. You can use the search bar to find stuff for whatever you want, but you can then go to Quen 3.5 plus Olama and learn how to use OpenClaw for free there. Also, if you go inside the mobile course here, which is a 3-hour course on how to use OpenClaw, you can see that we've got 3 different methods on how to use this. So how to use OpenClaw for free with local LLMs or different coding plans and that sort of thing. So If you want to learn how to run OpenClaw for free, check it out inside this section. Nice. I'm going to try it in anti-gravity. So you can get Claude Code to set up OpenClaw for you, or you can use Codex as well. Codex can help you with that. Now, it'd be interesting to compare Codex versus anti-gravity. Yeah, I would say I still lean towards using anti-gravity. If people aren't familiar with this, basically anti-gravity is a vibe coding tool from Google. So it's kind of similar to Codex, right? You can download it, install it locally, etc. But I do prefer like the browser agent that you get with anti-gravity. Plus, anti-gravity is free, and also it comes with free usage of stuff like Claude Code. So not Claude Code, Claude Opus. So yeah, I'd still say anti-gravity is winning in many ways. We've got tons of training inside here on that as well. So if you type in anti-gravity here, you can see how to use it with Nano Banana or NotebookLM, etc. I would say it works a lot better with NotebookLM directly inside anti-gravity. Yeah, so Khaled says I prefer anti-gravity to Codex as well. I'd agree with that. Photograph says, thanks, Julian, for all your hard work and continuous work on updating us. Happy to help. Claw says, you think XClaw is a much better way to newbies to use OpenClaw? And do you think OpenAI will bring a local model? Yes, you can use OpenAI locally with OpenClaw. All you do is you make sure you select Codex and the OAuth inside the onboarding. So that's how you can connect OpenClaw with OpenAI pretty easily with a one-click auth using Codex. And then for XClaw, I would say it's an interesting one to experiment with, but I still think the gateway might be better. Maybe that's just because my brain is trained to use it. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. We've got lots of video notes on Codex inside here. So if you type in Codex at the top, you can get access to all our best trainings on OpenAI Codex and how to use it with OpenClaw and Codex CLI, how to use Codex 5.3 with OpenClaw as well. So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And this is an AI automation community that's focused on helping you save time, scale, and grow learning AI, right? So inside the community, you can ask questions, get help, get support whenever you need it. You can also get access to a daily accountability group if you struggle with information overload and overwhelm. Additionally, you can meet loads of cool people doing similar things to you. And we actually have over 134 pages of people winning with this, right? So you can see here, for example, Robert said, I joined the AI Profit Room yesterday. You built a great community, enjoying going through all the trainings. You've got, for example, Eduardo, who made loads of progress, as you can see, since joining as well. And you can also see, for example, Russell is selling AI avatar videos based on the training inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you want to get access to all our best trainings, an amazing community, you can meet people in your local area. You also get weekly video coaching calls. You can jump on live Zoom calls and meet the community, ask questions, share your screen in real time. You can do that all inside here. Additionally, you get access to my best training. So for example, how to go from beginner to expert with AI automation in just 5 weeks and learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Additionally, you'll get my playbook on the best automations I use. So for example, how I automate X and Shorts and Instagram and how I create AI avatar videos like you can see. Additionally, you can get daily updates inside this section. So I look at all the updates that came out this week, and then I'm like, right, these are the most important ones. So you can see I update this daily with new guides, new video tutorials, etc. And then if you want to get more agency clients, you can check out this section. If you want to watch about the coaching calls, you can do that over here. If you want to learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO, we've got a full playbook there. And then we also have a full roadmap on how to grow your YouTube channel with AI based on what's working for me. So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. So Perplexity have a new feature, which is voice mode inside Perplexity Computer. So you can now just talk and build things. Here's an example of it working. And essentially, if we go over to Perplexity Computer, if you're not familiar with this already, basically what this is like an autonomous agent running inside a cloud-based computer where you can tell it to build stuff and it would just go off and create it, and then you can come back later, right? So for example, here we said create a website for my AI Profit Boardroom community. It went off, did it, and actually just literally created the page, as you can see right here. And the page itself looks nice. Now, this is running with like 19 different AI models. So basically what happens is you give it a task in the cloud, you say, right, build this website. The agent goes off, works on it. You can close Perplexity Computer, come back later, and then once it's ready, you'll actually get a preview of it and the full website ready to go right here. And then you can either export it, so you can download it as HTML, or you can connect this to something like Netlify and deploy it, right? The same, for example, for building out this timer app. So we built out a Pomodoro timer. So you can build apps with this. You can also build games. So this was a game that we built using Perplexity Computer 2, and the design's pretty nice. Like everything that I built with this seems to work almost first time round, which is amazing. It can even generate videos and images. So here's an example of a cat eating a pancake. This is a video we generated with Perplexity Computer 2. So the main thing is you've got an autonomous agent that can go off on the web and do whatever it wants, right? Now, there's also this voice mode. So what this means is essentially, if we go back here, you can now use voice mode inside Perplexity. So the way that this works is you click on voice mode over here, and then you can actually just talk to your computer in the cloud, right? So let me show you an example of how this works. Apologies if the audio is not that good on testing this out, but we'll try it. So over here, we click on voice mode, switch to our mic. Hey,
Hey there.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Yep, I'm here and listening. What can I help you with?
Awesome. Would you be able to build me a new website for my AI Profit Boardroom community?
Your new website task is underway. I'll let you know when it's finished or if it needs any input.
So that's basically how simple and easy it is to use, right? So you can command your computer with the voice, right? Now,
Exactly.
the useful thing about this is you
It def-
can basically just build in the background with voice commands. The computer can come back to you and that sort of thing. If it does need more information, it will tell you right here, right? So you can just select the options and then click continue. But that's basically how it works. So it's super simple and easy to use. You can select voice mode at any time.
Exactly. It's designed to keep things
And this means you can just do other stuff in the background whilst you're talking to your Perplexity computer. It's kind of like using a version of an AI assistant that can code out and build out for you, right? So that's basically how it works. Pretty simple and easy. It just came out. You can always mute your microphone over
I'm
here as
here
well,
whenever you're ready. If you want to
right?
move forward on that
But
website,
that is
I can help
basically
answer the pending questions to
ready
get it
whenever
built.
you need it. So if we come back here and I unmute here,
Sounds good. Just let me know when you're ready to continue or if you need anything else.
we can start using it again. Let me try this out again. You can always X off the voice mode as well. Hey, could you build out a game for me, please?
All set. Your game building task is up and running now.
Awesome. Do you need any more information from me before you do it?
I've asked the task what details it needs. We'll get its questions soon, and then you can fill in the specifics.
Okay, great. So I'm looking for like a kind of snake game, if that makes sense.
I've let it know you're aiming for a snake-style game, and it's picking back up. We'll
Oh.
see what it...
Awesome.
Got it.
Do you have any suggestions on how I could improve it or make it better?
I've asked the task for suggestions to enhance the snake game. I'll let you know what comes back.
Awesome. Have you can you actually deploy the website as well?
Sure, I can help with that. Which website would you like to deploy?
Okay, great. So when we use voice mode, are you working across all my tasks or just one individual one?
I can work across all your tasks, but I only interact with one at a time. Just let me know which task you want to focus on or switch to.
Awesome. Thank you. So that's basically it. And the other cool thing about this is like the voice mode can actually work across multiple tasks. So you can it works at one task at a time, but it can look across all your tasks, all your projects, that sort of thing, right? And the more information you give it, the more information it has about you, and it understands what you need and that sort of thing. Now, there's all sorts of cool things you can do inside Perplexity Computer. It's not just about using voice mode, but that's one of the most impressive features I've seen. And you can see it works very smoothly as well, right? It's just going off and building the game right here. You can also share anything that you create, so you can make it public once you've created the project. And you can also check your usage here. So you do get a limited number of credits you can use. So for example, you can see here I've got 43,000 out of 45,000. And this is on the max plan of Perplexity, right? So if you're using computer, you got to use it on the max plan. But that's basically it. That's how you can use Perplexity Computer with voice mode. Pretty insane. You've just got an AI coding agent that you can speak to at any time. And it's kind of like having a seamless way of talking to an autonomous agent. Now, you can do this inside OpenClaw and stuff like that, but with OpenClaw, it can break pretty easily. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get more training, help, support, if you want to meet an awesome community, feel free to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. We have loads of trainings on Perplexity Computer as well. So if you type in Perplexity Computer in the search bar here, you can see all of our trainings on how it works, video tutorials, etc., step-by-step guides, and all of this stuff, which is awesome. And this is my community where you can get help and support on AI automation whenever you need it. You can ask questions, you can meet a cool community, you can even meet people in your local area on the map, as you can see right here. Just zoom into the area you want to meet people in. Inside the classroom, you get all of my best trainings on, for example, like my personal automations, how to learn AI automation in just 5 weeks, daily updates inside the SOP update section here. And then also you can ask questions, you can see what people are working on, you can join our accountability group inside this section. You get a weekly update, so we filter out all the noise and we're just like, here's the stuff that's useful for you, and here's what you can ignore every week so that you can save time. And also we do weekly video coaching calls. Now, at this point, we've got, let's have a look here. We've got over 130 pages of testimonials from people getting results with this school community. So you can see, for example, Russell is selling AI avatar videos with the trainings from the group. You've got, for example, Eric, who onboarded a new client, and Dan, who got his first customer in just 2 weeks. So there's a lot of people winning with this and getting great results, which is awesome. And there's 2,600 people inside the community, which means there's always people online, like you see 85 people online, to get help and support whenever you need it. So feel free to get that link in the comments description, or just go to the arprofitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.